Choose your character.
All right. Welcome back to the Geekset podcast, only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I'm your boy Deuces, and this is One-on-One with Deuces, the place where I speak with creators, curators, and people that you should know. And right now, we got a legend in the building. Now, for those, I had this conversation on my podcast probably like 2-3 weeks ago where I was saying I missed the day when the music director, the video director was, when the video director was like the rock star. That was the flex. The flex was you got this video from this person, this video from this person, and this person that I brought up, Director X, who used to be known as Little X at that time, but gave us so much in hip hop culture. And I just want to say, man, I am excited to have not only a legend in the game, but an innovator. We have Julian Lutz, aka Director X, in the building. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. How you feeling?
Man, I am doing great. And again, like I said, my platform is all about giving people their flowers. And you gave us so much with major and classic artists like Jay-Z, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Rihanna, Kanye. And I just want to say, from the culture, from Geekset, from me, thank you for all your work that you put in the game and the things that you continue to preach and teach. Man, thank you so much for all that, man.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm honored that y'all still care.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, because it's one, like, I'm a hip hop head, and to me, the music videos used to be my background noise. Like, I used to keep BT on, MTV on, whatever, and 24/7, and it was just like one for the music, but also the visuals. And every time I would, like you said, you can tell when it was like, oh, this was a treatment, not just somebody pointing and shooting. And this was, something that was going to be special. And then obviously, say you trained under, say the legendary Hype Williams. So I kind of wanted to take it back. And I know you told this story a lot, but I think where I connected it the most was how you really had to put your investigative reporter on, hat on. To
How I got
to
into
it.
it. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there's two things. I think what we're missing right now is a central place to go, right? And I
Okay.
think this is what the streamers are serving, right? But you grew up with television. You went to the TV and you turned it
Yeah.
on and it came at you, right? And even though BET didn't have VJs, MTV had VJs. BET just played videos, but it was a little more specific to the culture. I know something about it worked, but something about the TV and it came at you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we all knew the one place to go. And now we don't have that place. Like, there is no place you just go and get the culture. You go to streamers and get the culture. Right. I know if I go to Kai Cenat, I'm going to get some form. He's going to bring in even on another level where he's bringing in the old school. Like, he'll bring in John Legend, and then he'll bring in the new kid, and like it's serving what the music videos used to do. The music video channels used to do. You know what I mean? And yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, I agree with that. I was going to let you continue.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. But I think that's what we're all missing. There's no real central place for culture anymore, where what it was, the way radio did it and music video and television did it. It's just we all had to go to that one place. Like, you knew it was a hit because you turned on the radio. You got in the car, you turned on your radio. Yeah, you had a CD. Yeah, you had it, but now it's like television and radio are just not the factors they once were. Now it's playlists, and there's just everything so scattered.
Yeah,
that we don't have one place to go anymore.
But I do miss that era so much, because to me, it, like I said, the music video assisted. Like, we used to always, like, we'll listen to an album and it'd be a classic album, or even just an album that have a few joints on it that you really rock with, and you're like, oh man, I really hope that we get a music video for this song. And I miss that. I miss that excitement of, oh, I want to see what they can cook up with that. And then also throwing names like you in the hat, like, oh man, if they get with Director X, I already know this video is going to be crazy. It's like, I miss that era so much.
Yeah. Back when those visuals really meant something, man. The visuals really meant something. Like, I don't know, it just brought something, because you got everything. What you get from social media now, like, oh, that's the slang, oh, that's the fashion, oh, that's the dance, oh, that's what they're doing over there. Music videos provided that. So it's almost like a dissection of how human beings communicate with each other and what music means and what it means to get it. And just, it was just a very different time. And I don't think anyone in that space recognizes what music videos still mean to people, right? Because you know
Mhm.
what I mean. So there's no, again, we don't have that central place. We need that central place again.
So yeah, and do you think that they're like in today's world? Do you think that if we created a central place that people will gravitate to it? Like in your opinion?
If they knew about it, if you
Mm,
knew there was a place that you could, just like you used to, right, turn it on and leave it, all right, and you get your
yeah,
music videos, and you knew, again, BET might not have had VJs, but you knew what you got when you put on BET. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And MTV back in the day used to have VJ. I really believe that the human connection is important. So I think they might, if we knew where to go. Maybe it's a strange world we're in now, because it's just everything is everywhere now, bro. Like
yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
TikTok and this and that, like it's all over the damn place. But hey,
But so one thing that's very interesting about your story, and where, like I said, somebody like myself who connects to it. So, like, a little bit about me with this podcast. It was like I started off as an artist, and then I wanted to talk about culture and hip hop culture. So I created this podcast, and then I couldn't find anybody to really collaborate with to kind of create the aesthetic. So I taught myself graphic design, and then I started doing that and started freelancing myself to do that. And I kind of started just saying, like, you know what? I enjoy doing all this, but I kind of want to make sure that my product is up to standard, right? So when I listen to your story and you talk about how you was a comic book artist at first, and then you literally was at Music Choice, and you was like, "Hey man, what's up with that?" And then he was like, "All right, let me go ahead and get that." And then like you literally just like, "Okay, what about that?" And kind of led you to where you're at right now. And I wanted to know, like, where did that type of drive for you came from?
you just have it. I mean, that's the thing. I think you need to do what you're compelled to do, especially when you're young, right? And now in hustle culture, I think everything's a little too, like, everyone's trying to be a millionaire by the time they're 15, and like this hustle culture has gotten in everyone's head. Versus, if you'd like it, go do it. You don't know where it's going to lead you. Just go
Yeah.
do it. I liked, I went to a poetry reading. My friend read a poem, and they said, "Oh, they opened up the mic. Hey, if anyone wants to read something, come on up." And I went up and read a rap I wrote for my friends. Right?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Come back." Okay, they came back, and now I'm reading poetry around town. Okay, I like comic books. I'm doing comic books. I like graphic design. I like, I'm like, I just follow your interests, and now I can always see how those things feed back in. But some people like sports. They're for compelled to get up and do sports. I can't. It's just not the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you get the energy to wake up in the morning at 6 a.m. and go run around? Some people just got it. That's what they, but I was compelled to pick up a pen and draw. And I'm compelled to, what I'm saying, make visuals. Like, what's your compulsion, and lean into it.
But again, the for you repurposing it, like you said, even back then, because I really love when people geek out about the things that they do. And you were talking about the difficulty of even syncing like words to video, right? And so you actually used one of that poetry, that spoken word piece, as an example of something that you was trying to position, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did my my final project in school with the poetry video. Um,
Yeah.
so, but then it became, I made it work. You got to make it work. You got to, especially then, man. I think at all times, anytime you're doing something, you need to think, how can I make this work for me?
Absolutely, yeah, and you got to figure it out. It's one of those things where it's like we have so many resources at our hands that we can try to figure it out. And that's that. And to me, I think that even with you being in that building at Much Music, and just you're thinking that you're only there for a graphic designer, but you saw the potential of something else to lead you to everything that you wanted to do. But again, it wasn't you just doing mindless tasks. You were doing things that you generally love. Like our slogan here is "Do what you love what you do" at Geekset. And to me, that's, if you move with that type of mindset, that will lead you to your overall where you want to be at, because now you're turning your love to your actual job.
Yeah, yeah. Follow your passions, brother. Follow your passions.
Yeah. So another thing, and this is where, like I said, you really get into your mindset of like what you learn from Hype Williams, because you often say that a lot, it wasn't Hype just saying, all right, I'm saying, X, do this, let me show you how I do this. You really just learn from watching, seeing how he moves, and you credit a lot for him knowing every aspect of like that, that production, like, not only just knowing behind the camera, but knowing the fashion, knowing the wardrobe, knowing the lighting and all this. And then it even bleeds into your teachings, because I forgot which interview it was, but you had the whole room do a like an exercise of everybody like being on their toes and showing how that movement actually gives you a little bit more fluidity in on camera. And it's one of those things of being, like I said, of being a student of the game. Why was that so important to you early on?
I've always been a person that's kind of looking at things like, oh, we could do that different. That would be better if we put that over here. Like even when I was an intern, they'd come back to the office and I'd rearrange all the furniture. They'd walk, I go, oh, this is better because before when you had the desk over here, people walk by the door, but now that the desk is here, they walk in, they're going to see him, and I put the chairs here, and now I put the desk there, and now see the way I put that. Okay, 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 but it's better. So looking at thinking about performance down to all right, how are you standing? Like I'm doing boxing, right? And they're on your toes, on your toes, on your toes. I mean, yeah, that is a little better, and that helps me when I go to the gym. I notice I'm kind of feel this, and that looks way more alpha. That looks way stronger. That looks okay. Like even
Yeah,
if I just apply that now as we speak, but I was saying like this. Now let me give. If I was telling someone to do the performance, I'd tell them to sit like this. See the difference? Clearly we do,
yeah,
right? Right? It was okay. All right. What if you sat like, all right, well, okay, we need a better. This song's about love. Think about your last girlfriend, right? For a minute, even for you, think about the last time you were really in love,
right.
right? And really like picture a moment, find a moment that really sticks out, and just visualize it, sit in it for a minute, see where you were, feel the wind if there was any, what were you doing? You can kind of feel that story, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
imagine, so even as you talk to me right now, just kind of run that memory, just kind of stay in that memory with her, right?
Okay.
And you can feel what it does. Even I'm doing the same thing, kind of changes the memory. Now let's switch it again. Let's go find an angry memory. Let's find one when all right, I got one. All right. And now as I talk to you, I'm gonna think about that memory. I'm gonna think
Okay.
about what it was like when I was dealing with that situation. But I'm still having this conversation, but I'm still running that memory in the back of my head. And I can feel that, and you can see it on my face, right?
Right.
So where are you, where can I take these things? Pushing performance. So what if you do your as an actor, find a memory, do that, or as a right, or even let's go a step away from that. Picture a lion on the savannah. All right, and as I talk now, I'm going to picture a lion hunting down a zebra, and the whole hunting it, eating it, chasing it, biting into it, eating it alive. As I talk to you, I'm kind of imagining some of this stuff, and I can feel that energy, and I can feel that, you know what I mean? And even other people watching, just think that. You feel it in your bones a bit, right? Chase it down, jump on it, eat, bite it, chew on it. You feel it, right?
Yeah.
We so when what can you do to do these tricks to get a performance? Maybe hype you for a performance. Maybe while you're doing it, right? Um, as I talk now, let me just think about time me and my buddies are all laughing, dying laughing. Just run that memory. You and your buddies are just doing that, and you're laughing and clowning one another, and right? Hey, see, you
Yeah.
smile, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
so all these tricks that deal in performance, and what if you were to do these tricks while you know work, which is essentially what I'm doing. But even now, as I have this conversation with you, I'm saying, well, why am I saving these techniques only for when the camera's rolling? Why don't I just use the technique now, right? As I do this podcast, when I just think about me talking to my buddies, okay,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
feels a little lighter, feels a little better in my chest. You know what I mean? So it's always that. As a director, you are supposed to be conscious of the subconscious, knowing what a shot does, knowing what pushing in does, knowing we do that with camera. For me, everyone can do camera. I just did a job recently, right? I'm at this
Mhm.
this production company, and my EPs are both directors. So, and I mean, they're serious, like special effects, lenses, and camera. Like I can have a conversation with them about the difference between a 35 mil and a 32 mil and a 40 mil, and everyone knows exactly what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Oh
Yeah.
man, a 35 ain't really giving me what a 32 would. Good thing we don't have a 40.
Talking shop.
So if there's all these people out there, what are you bringing to the conversation?
Right.
It's great that you can have the conversation. That's this. What puts you up here? Right? Well, you got to go figure that out. For me, I'm thinking about performance. I'm thinking about getting in your head. Right? What are we that? So that's a bit of my standing on your toes. Da 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 da. Picture, imagine that there's a ghostly image of yourself standing right beside you. Got that?
Mm-hmm.
Make it do some push-ups. Make it dance. Make the ghost do some push-ups. And now make it dance. As we talk, make it dance.
Okay.
Yeah. And now make it really bust a move. Like it's really you having a good time. Right?
All right.
Now make it do some shit you can't actually do in real life.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
You ever see the Blue Angels? You know the Blue Angels, the pilots?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You ever see the video where they're visualizing their thing? They got their eyes
Mm-hmm.
closed and going, right? These things we know these things we think have an effect on us. All right, well, again, I'm looking at it like practically, how can I make a performance better? You're not going to tell Usher how to be better. Hey, Ush, why don't you dance better?
Yeah, right. That sounds crazy. Yes. That sounds
I
crazy.
really need you to give it to me this time. More energy. Like there's nothing you can say to Usher in his I can do this all the time. But you could say to Usher, hey Ush, this song is about you stealing someone's girlfriend. And that's a primal thought, right? So I want you to think about the hunting. We'll do the hunt one. Be a lion hunting down some food. Now perform. Or you know what I'm saying? Oh, this is a love song. I want you to think about the last time you were in love. Oh, this is
Right.
because
So you're really just more directing with like the emotion of attached to that performance.
what you want to do, what everyone's trying to do when you listen to actors, you want to go to a place where you surprise yourself, that it comes out of you, that you're not just being a robot. I said the word here and then I did that. It's coming. You're in the zone. It just happens. And I mean, that's what people understand in sports. Sometimes it's the game's so crazy. Sometimes you get the ball, do a thing, and oh shit,
Yeah. You'll
right?
see it on their face. You'll see it
Yeah,
like you'll literally see it on their face. Like they're surprised that they even did that.
exactly, right. But to get to that point, to surprise yourself, it takes all this practice and you have to do all this conscious stuff to get to the point where the
Mm-hmm.
subconscious and the muscle, like it's operating without you. Well, how can I help an artist get to that? How can I help an actor get to that? Right. And then as I
Right.
look at it, how can you help just like you keep on visualizing your boys for the rest of the talk? Give it a few minutes. Try and run that thought about you talking to your boys. You know what I'm saying? As you do
Okay.
this, but
Mm-hmm.
just have it run in the back of your mind.
Okay.
Mm,
As we continue. But you
mm,
know what? A great example of everything that you just said. So again, love sports. That I forgot that which doc? It was a doc that was detailing the Redeem team, right? And they was going back and they ended up talking to Vince Carter about his time when he dunked over that one player in the Olympics, right? And he said that at the time he didn't even know that he did it. He was frustrated at the team. He was upset during the time. He had some personal things going on and everything like that. We already knew Vince Carter was this elite dunker, but that was something different. So when he did it, he said when you see him looking up, that's him actually watching it to see what actually happened because all he saw was the basket and dunk it.
Yeah, brother. There's you remember the Animatrix?
Yes.
There's one of the stories when they do with the athletes. And sometimes you hit your little neo power through athletics. Sometimes you can shape the matrix
Mm-hmm.
in certain moments. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah,
Speaking
I love it. Well,
I just
speak.
saw I saw the Matrix at the Cosm in LA.
Oh, how was that?
Crazy, bro.
So, because I was gonna say, I love the Matrix so much, and then if you haven't watched it yet, because I know that you're a big nerd as well, and we're gonna jump into that. But Lawrence Fishburne sits down with Neil deGrasse Tyson on his podcast, and they break down the Matrix in a way that I ain't never like. I did not realize that Lawrence Fishburne, probably outside of the directors, know more about the Matrix than anybody else. Like
Um,
bro,
I mean,
he
the movie's a life-changing movie. It is a culture-defining movie. It is the Star Wars of that time. Unfortunately, the second two got derailed. They went off the rails a
yeah.
bit. But that first one, it's the fact that they did that, bro. You got to see. It's worth the trip to LA.
I'm gonna have to, I definitely would
Just
like to, because I'm out of Milwaukee, so you know what I'm saying. But I
yeah.
travel for this. Like I said, for this, what I'm doing, my passion here, having conversations with people like you, and being able to just like geek out and everything. I'm really passionate about this. I'm just working on an independent level, but I travel for things and experiences like that to be able to cover it, because my goal and my idea is to be the Sway's universe of blurred and geek culture, or the Angie Martinez. Like we don't have somebody in this culture that is really detailing and having these conversations about anime, comic books, video games, the technicalities of music videos, just the science and of hip hop and everything like that. We don't have a lot of people that are doing that in that geek space, and that's what I thrive for. So again, I'm a person that I do travel for these type of things and opportunities to do so, because I'm very interested in it. You know, like when I look at your work, one of the things that I know, you know, even being a music artist myself, is that treatment phase, right? And I wanted to kind of get into, like, when you start, when an artist reaches out or a label reaches out to you, and they book you. All right, we're going to do, you're directing our video. What is the first thing that you do treatment wise to get prepared for that music video?
I mean, um, you got to listen to that record a lot. You got to go through ideas, and you got to make an idea that might be affordable. Then you got to, write. It's a process, bro. Because it's not just like anyone can have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Shit's expensive.
Yes.
That's it. So, like, then if it's too expensive and you just can't make it work, well, then you got to come up with another idea. But sometimes that, like, it's a lot going on. So, um, I I really how I say I really I really spent a lot of time listening to the record a lot. That was the thing. Part of the reggae explosion is because part of Sean Paul and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I had gotten so tired of listening to hip hop and R&B records over and over and over and over and over again. Like when, because for a director is like, you listen to one record all the time, and then you move,
Right.
right. And I needed a break, so I started going to a couple other things, but reggae was one of my breaks. And to the point that my team was, we're New York, and so a bunch of West Indians were like, oh, we should do some videos, and that's how we started. We went after them. We went after Sean Paul. We went after Veep. Like X wants to do one, and then Give Me the Light set off a whole
Man,
reggae wave again.
it went skyrocketed, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It would have had a longer run if they weren't so homophobic with their lyrics, but they had a moment.
And they had a moment, but again, there's a lot of pocketed moments that you are, heavily involved with and everything like that. But again, it's interesting to see, like, the music videos that really, inspired you, or the ones that end up being the ones that catapulted you. Because I know that Flavor in Your Ear remix was one that you kind of was like, whoa, what is this? And you always
Yeah.
say that at that time, music videos didn't really, that video made it was something. You knew that it was something that was different, that we usually
Mm.
didn't really see in music videos. What about that Flavor in Your Ear remix video that like really like hit you, like, oh shit, this is something that's really dope?
There's art to it. You could just feel art, right? Like when I'm around some art, I feel like I get the same feeling I get walking through a forest, right?
Okay.
So you feel it. You just feel it. You just felt like better. It felt the black and white, the shots that it
Yeah.
was organic, right? Another video like that it didn't it hit kind of it's in the same realm. There's another video hyped it. It was a Wu-Tang, Can It All Be So Simple?
Yes. Oh yes.
You remember that? Everyone was like, "What?" It just, you didn't know why, but this, you know what I mean? It was like moist and
Yeah.
squishy, and like it was alive, right? Like, and that's what good art can do. So that was one of those things that just made you go, "Oh wow!" And I remember the first time I saw it, I woke up out of a dream. Like, all my boys were over. I moved out real young, and my boys would be at my place because I was downtown, and they're just up rampaging while I have to sleep for school. And I wake up, and that video's on, and I just go, "Look at that girl." And I fell back asleep, but I remember that moment.
Full circle moment then, because was it Give Me the Light? Wait a minute, because there was one video. I do believe it was Gimme. Was there a girl? Wasn't there a girl winding in video and Gimme the Light that everybody was like, "Yo, who's that girl?" If I'm not
Uh,
mistaken.
I mean, there's a couple. Give me a light. There's a couple. You know, what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
that might have been Tanisha. That was the one I danced with, and in
yeah, I
all
think
white.
so. Yeah, because
Yeah, that's my cameo.
and like I said, like that's kind of like that full circle moment. Like, wait, who is that girl and everything? But then another video, and this is what I like about your relationship with artists and how you kind of work with it. And it also kind of goes with your breakdown of Star Wars and just in Snyder verses and everything like that. Because you said that one which I also love how you broke down how to fix Star Wars and everything. But you talk about how like
What did I say? How to fix Star Wars?
it was a whole storyline, bro. You want me to requote? I can't requote that whole thing.
What was my what was I have so many
Yeah.
but
Well,
we'll
hold
get
on.
back to that. We'll get back to that. We'll get back
We'll
to
get
that.
back to that. But you one thing that you like your through line was that like there's canon events. There's certain things that like you can put your spin on it, but there's certain things that need to make sure that it fits and it happens. Like you cannot just change it just because you're the director, right?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
yep. And so when I look at the artists that you work with, what resonated most with your music videos was that it never felt like it was something that the artist wouldn't do. Like I know that like I'll Be That was one of your what you credit as like your video that kind of helped changed everything. But when we think of Redman and we think of that video on I'll Be That, it was like, oh, this is the most Redman video that I've ever seen because it
Mm,
fit him as perfect and
right.
everything like that.
Yeah, and that's what
Talk,
it should be. It
yeah,
should be a music video should be a collaboration where for the audience it's their art, it's the thing they love about their artist. I have a philosophy about this that if I'm a pyramid, I'm not the tip of the pyramid. I'm the layer right below.
okay,
The tip of the pyramid is the artists themselves. And in that hierarchy, no one can make me change my mind. If I say I want to paint the room red and you're like, what if it was a blue room? No. What if it was a green? No. What if it's a red room but we made it glossy? Yes. What if we made it red with a polka dot? Maybe let's try this now. I'm not going to shoot that down. It's still red. If you're moving forward with my idea,
right,
then yes. If you're trying to make me change my mind, no. Immediately. No discussion. No discussion. We either move in the direction I say because I'm the director, or I mean, you can go. I mean, but this is how it goes,
right.
and the same goes for the artist. Because every time I've ever gone against the artist, I had the same. It always was the wrong move, always, because this is their thing.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? This
Yep.
is some Illuminati. Looks like I'm gonna take a clip. This is this. I'm doing this from the Illuminati, so they know that I'm still in the system. But that they're the one that's their idea, their thing. I did a video for a French artist named Soprano.
Okay.
The song's called Facile à danser. It's easy to dance. And I wrote a treatment where people get infected. There's a new pandemic, right? And
Mhm.
if you hear this song, you start dancing. You can't help yourself. It's viral. It's you know what I'm saying. It's
Right.
contagious. Everywhere. It's like the song starts spreading, and everyone's dancing, and everywhere you go, everyone's dancing. The video, the budget was hundreds of thousands of dollars, but this couldn't be done. But in the initial call, he said, "I've recorded this in Africa. I want to do something in Africa." But they liked my idea.
Mhm.
But he said, "I wanted to do something in Africa, but I like this idea." And then the idea collapsed. We're like, "Oh, what could we do? And maybe we do this." And I go, "No, no, no." He said he wanted to go to Africa. Let's go to Africa. Let's be true to my philosophy.
Right.
He's the artist. This is his video. He wants to go to Africa. We're starting with that. And I love the video. I love the video that we finally made. It wasn't easy to make. It was, you know what I'm saying, on a bunch of different
Right.
levels, but we made it and it was cool and it was great and some great experiences. And I love it. It's facile danse. Take a look. But I feel that a director will serve themselves and the artist much better if they really work with what the artist wants to do, add on to what the artist wants to do, guide it, shape it, mold it, versus fight it.
Yeah, be collaborative. Like I said, and that's to because that's going to get the best. Because one, now you're not when you tell somebody something completely different from their original direction, it's almost as if you're saying what you said was wrong. Do it this way. But if you
Exactly.
are suggesting more things like just like things that's still within the realm, it feels more collaborative. It's like, okay, well, how can we improve upon that, and everybody comes out feeling a little bit better because now you as a director feel heard. The artist doesn't feel like their idea was like shitted on by this director, and now you guys gonna get the most best, product that you guys put out there.
Absolutely.
And we see that a lot with with a lot of the things that you talk about.
The one thing that I absolutely love about the culture is that it's still embedded in Black culture.
White geeks still rock Dunks or Jordans, and they also talk about Batman versus Superman. Batman and versus Superman is literally Brown versus Jordan.
Dragon Ball Z, that like my whole trajectory in life changed. Don't nobody talk to me, my shit is on.
We just finna experience it. It look like it's gonna be real deep.
Oh my God, this is crazy!
The elevation from where King Vader started to now fucking crazy.
Black geek culture helped me through some of the highs in my life, through some of the lows in my life. It's always been there, sort of like an undercurrent to everything that I did.
There was no term for it. It was just, this is what I'm doing.
I love us in it. I love the fact that we take things and we always make it better.
But again, you've also been at the forefront of being able to see Canada hip hop scene from infant stage to being a major force within in the hip hop world and everything like that. What was that like being on that ground level and also being a pivotal person that helped grow that scene?
I'm going to give you another mental exercise while I talk. I want you to keep repeating "fun" in your head. Fun, okay. fun. Just while you're talking, but right now as I'm talking, just keep repeating it. So I came up when hip hop in Toronto, because look, we're all first generation Canadians, right? The vast majority of the Black people in Toronto were West Indians, and when I was in high school and someone said, "Where are you from?" you would said the island your parents were from.
Okay.
Right. That was how we did it, and so. Our hip hop scene was very fresh and new, but a few of them were broke through. Like KRS would come up, KRS-One would come up, and Mishi Me was one of because that whole Jamaican hip hop North American thing that worked. So there's a few people kind of made a little bit of a buzz, and then Maestro had a thing. He had a record, he had a radio hit, and like he was a little Canadian. And it worked. And then a couple other underground guys, and then but it always never felt like it could happen. Then when I came along and I moved to the States, and I was working with the biggest are undeniably, I'm doing Jay-Z's video, I'm doing these guys' videos. It felt like for the city, like it could happen. And it felt like it could happen in a way where they didn't have to hate. You know what I mean? Because if it's music, everyone's hating. Like if I was a rapper and I was like, man, you ain't even from that, that's whack. I would have been, but I'm just making videos. And we're all like, and then for a young generation, that Drake Weekend generation is like, oh, it can happen.
Right.
There's a whole generation like, because now that Toronto generation, with you got Drake and The Weeknd and Corey Lanez and a couple Division and people of different levels. There's enough people in the game now,
right.
And tons of producers and tons of managers. It's not even a question. Yeah, it can happen. In my generation, it was a dream to even be in the industry at all. Was a dream. You feel what I'm saying? So to watch that all kind of grow and then each generation builds on the confidence of the next. You know what I mean? Oh, right. There could be a Drake, there can be a Weeknd. Okay. Then there could be, you know what I mean? It keeps getting bigger and bigger. So it's a beautiful thing to see. And it's great to be a part of it. I tell Drake, I joke with him that I'm John the Baptist to his Jesus Christ.
That's hilarious. How is your relationship with Drake?
Drake is a great guy, man.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, man.
His explosion took the world by storm, and it was just like I said, one of the longest runs in hip hop, and everything like that. And I mean, listen here, we know what happened and everything. I just want him to get back to the music. That's my main thing. As a lover of hip hop in general, and see, saying who's still like, hey man, listen here, let's cut all the noise. I just really want him to get back to the music and focus on that.
Absolutely. How's that fun thing working for you? How'd that feel for you?
It felt good, man. Like I said, because you know why? And it is because, again, saying that and having that thought process of just saying fun, while you are telling me these iconic stories and everything like that, and knowing, again, the gravitas of this interview for me as a hip hop head, that's why I do this. I'm having fun doing this. I'm having fun talking to these people that I looked at as like, whoa. Like I remember when I first, like one of my favorite videos that you did, if I'm not mistaken, was What's My Name DMX.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I remember just even the song. And so if I'm not mistaken, I saw the video before I even heard the song. And so the bells, the visual, the black and, you know, not the black and white, but like the red.
Yeah,
Like,
but see, that's it. You know that story behind that video?
no, I don't.
That video was a turning point for me because I went into it. This is a lesson about trying to make something for the client, trying to please other people.
Okay.
At that time, people liked bright. The notes you get back, and also note that the clients don't know what they when people tell you what they want, they don't know what they want. The people liked bright. They liked warm light, bright light. They liked girls, and they liked, right. So I made this video. That's why there's basically two videos going on. There's this bright light video with girls, and everyone's wearing whatever the fuck, and they're jumping around with DMX, and it just sucks. Then there's another video where it's blue and green and red. Well, you know, we had this first day shoot, and I'm making the version. I have, you know, they've given me all these people, and we're trying to make it. I'm trying to make this video for the client, basically. All the stuff that people tell me they like, they don't like. It is a horrible day. Horrible day. It looks like shit. DMX got sick. He was his asthma. He left early. We had to have a second day. On the second day, I'm like, fuck this. Like the fancy people that my company brought in to work with me, they left. It just was horrible. And I go, you know what? Just give me a bunch of Rough Riders. Put them in Rough Rider shirts. Let's just gel it. Let's just do this. Let's just do that. Let's look like I just like fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that is that's the part of the video that I love. That's the part of the video that works. That shit is fucking fire, right? And I keep thinking, what if I had done that? Well, not even keep thinking. I know what would have happened. But it was a moment when I realized, fuck. I'm not doing what I think you want. I'm not doing what I think you want. I'm doing what I want.
Because they hired you for your expertise. They hired you for your visual. Like as an artist, I've always my relationship with like videographers, directors, photographers, I always tell them, I say, I have a baseline, like what I think that I want. However, the reason why I hired you is because I want to see myself in your lens. So I am also leaning in on your creative control, leaning in on you, you know, running a little bit more point. Let's just talk and, you know, keep it collaborative. Right. And so to me, that's how I always viewed it, especially with your resume. Even prior to that video, you've already had enough. I would be surprised that there's a lot of labels keep on trying to meddle or put their hands in.
Not meddle. You do it to yourself sometimes because you're worried about what's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah. Because I know, I mean, especially with like, you know, like you got cultural classics. You get banned from TV, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like that, like you gave us so much dopeness for that we even go back to, you know, that we'll go back to even when we're like on Twitter or Instagram saying, yo, remember this video, remember Annie Up, like, you know, remember Knock Yourself Out. Like you gave Jadakiss one of the dopest treatments for like coming out as like, all right, now, like, I feel like Knock Yourself Out video made us legit see Jadakiss as like his own regular star. Like, yo, Jadakiss is here. Like he already been dope. He already been etched in the game with the locks. But Knock Yourself Out in that first album, it was like, yo, all right, Kiss is a fucking star. And it was like, that was your treatment, you know, in regards to that. It was like, yo, this right here, this direction is dope. It's like you gave us so much that it was like when you my guy Clint Coley got a podcast on Revolt. And one of his things that he tells when he talks about greatness is he says that you can't tell the story about X, Y, and Z without this person, right? And that's how he measures who's going to be great. I feel like you cannot tell the story of hip hop without the mention of you, Hype Williams, and things like that, because you guys paid so much. That's to me is the level of greatness.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's a big compliment. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. So, you know, when it comes down to like, you know, even outside of like your treatment and everything, what do you believe is the most important part of a music video?
The music. Are you really making something for the record? Are you making something for the artist? I think that's something with music videos that are important. You could, you know, Is it feel like the record? It doesn't, there's some directors, that's very much coming from the school, like you should be making the video about what the song's about. But then guys like Colin Tilley would come along and it's like a love song, but you put Chris Brown in a auto party garage, like fixing a car. That was the artist. Sometimes it's I think that it's like you were saying, it feels like it comes from the artist. I come from the generation which should amplify the song.
Yeah.
I think there was a moment when everyone was like, "Oh, the song's called Thunder, but we don't want to do rain. We want to make it, the song's called Rain, but we're going to shoot it in the desert because we don't, what I'm saying? Like, no, the song's called Lightning. Have lightning hit shit like that. I come from that era of music videos, and I still feel that's fucking valid. Yeah. But I think that's it. You really want to. You're either trying to get that record and get the essence of the song and something that at least feels like it. It might not be word for word,
right.
but it feels like it. Or it's the artist. Or the best case scenario, it's the both, right? You capture the essence of what the artist is, and then you get that song, and they intertwine into one new thing. It's like the Holy Trinity: the artist, the song, and the video, right?
Right. But then, like I said, even to that, you go pull an impressive feat and you do a whole video where the artist ain't even in it. Like, bro, you did in that pop star video, you had Justin Bieber rapping, you had King Batchin, and I know there's obviously the Canadian connection and everything like that. But even with something like that, like, where did that thought process come from?
That was from Drake.
Oh,
that was from Drake. Drake was like, "Yeah, I put Bieber in it," and then, Batch is a friend of mine, but he's also friends with Bieber. So I hit up Batch and said, because we're trying to get friends, and they're showing me like, extra, like the way you hire background is they just show you get pages of pictures. They're not certain parts, like especially now that and thank God for a union, but if you're going to audition a role, that ups the amount of money for how much that role. It just starts getting into the economics of it all.
Yeah,
I'm like, Batch, get your boys. So I didn't vet who Batch brought his friends.
So we definitely saw, like, if you follow Batch from Vine or anything like that, we recognized a lot of the people in it. Like, oh shit,
yeah, these are some people, right? So it was a look for everybody, right? And it made sense. It's a look for it. All made sense, right? Because they're also comedians, so they're also bringing the comedy. It's a good look for everybody. Now, it just happened that way. So, but like I said, same kind of thing, right? Drake wants to do this thing where it's Bieber. He had the idea like, it's a dream. It's a collabo, right? I want Bieber to be in it. And then we make the thing all come together. And, there's a couple moments in that video where I'm doing for Bieber when he's performing, like especially when he comes out of the bedroom and he's got the bottles.
Yeah.
There's a couple different takes where like some were like, okay, come out, think of your favorite hip hop star. And he comes out a little too hard. And for that one, I think he's going, like, as you go, I say, keep on thinking, hey. Like even now as we're talking, just keep thinking, hey. I'm going to think the same thing as I'm talking to you, right? You can't help it.
You can't help it because it's hey.
Right? You know what I mean? So it's again, it's one of those things. What can you do to get into the head and get that performance out? And then,
So with that thought process, now I got to think. Now in my mind, I'm thinking like, do you ever mess with the artist? Like just have them think of something crazy just to get that moment? Like you're like, because now you've earned that cachet where people are going to trust you. So if director is like, all right, act like you're doing the worm but standing up, I feel like somebody gonna do it just because
I would have to be trying to do it to get to a place, right? Trying to you know what I mean? Like you're at one point you're also trying to get a certain kind of performance out of people. So that would be what I'd be doing it for, right? Just that'd be but nothing just for shits and giggles, nothing like that.
Okay. All right, so let's geek out some. So because I know that you're a big geek and everything like that, and right now hip hop, and it's always been that, but hip hop and geek culture blends almost perfectly. But like even if you take it back to like Wu-Tang and and Ghostface Killah and MF Doom, like you start seeing all those moments of the intertwining of hip hop culture and geek culture. And now we got Nas working with Marvel right now. Why do you think that geek culture and hip hop culture meshes so well?
Because there was a time that it was all underground. Like if you were really into hip hop, you were in an underground, you're undergrounds, but this was not mainstream shit. Geek culture was not mainstream shit. It now has become mainstream.
Yeah.
Right. There would always be moments when, like, you know, some rap song would hit the pop charts, but the majority of rap music was not on the pop charts. Right. There would be a time when, like, you know, a Superman movie or a Batman, there'd be a moment when comic books kind of touched on, but it was always a little under, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then for youth culture, even if for youth culture, it feels like it was right up front, but that's because you're young, right?
Right.
The X-Men cartoon for young people is like, the X-Men were great. Yeah. But for the adults at that time, they don't know about the X-Men. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's so youth culture is tapped into the underground. Hip hop was always underground, right? And there's always going to be a part of that that speaks to the youth culture. I don't know why it's not like rock music or pop music,
Mm-hmm.
but just hip hop. There's always going to be a foot in. I guess because it's maybe so easy. I guess maybe it's comes from teenage angst. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it just connects.
No, yeah, it definitely does. And like I said, I often joke on my podcast. I say, like, right now in the world, it feels like that if you're trying to do a movie or a TV show, if it's not a derivative from either a graphic novel, a comic book, a video game, or some type of IP that's already out there, you're gonna have a hard time. It's like an uphill battle because everything is something off of something. You know, you see Marvel having this, you know, their big explosion, DC, and then anime is going crazy right now. And I know that you said that visually, Japanese animation is something that inspires you. What is
Of
about
course.
what about their animation inspires you?
I mean, look, we can all see it. That's why I blew up. There's a, especially the old school joints, the hand drawn stuff, but an attention to detail. Some of the camera moves they're doing. It's just, you know, it's a beautiful piece of art, and the hand drawn stuff needs to be protected. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
Ghost in the Shell, Akira, Ninja Scroll. That stuff
Yes.
needs to be when society burns down. We better make sure we save. There's some art that needs to be saved. It's right up there with the
Right.
Mona Lisa. I mean,
Like, talk about the book of Eli. No, give me the book of Stan Lee. Give me the book of
yeah.
right. So with you, I know, like I said, do you still draw? Because I mean, you do talk about, you know, that
I
the
still
physical.
draw, not in the way I used to, but you know what I'll do. I'll go to a restaurant, or if I'm on a plane, I'll get my little sketchbook and I'll draw people as they're like looking
Okay.
at their phone. I'll do that kind of thing. My life drawing stuff, I still do that.
You know what's funny? Because that'd be a whole in today's world. That's a whole TikTok. You draw somebody, give it to them, get their reaction. Like that's
Yeah, true, actually, it actually
yeah.
is. But yeah, my
That's
drawings are not TikTok level, but you know,
oh, okay. So what are you currently geeking out about in today's world?
what am I nerding out on? Can't really say that there's a lot in nerd culture that has me.
Well, so hold on. Let me give a caveat. So we are redefining what geek is, right? So what we talk about when we say geek, we said it's not just like nerding out about comic books, anime, comic books, video games. To me, a geek is somebody that can go in depth about a specific topic, right? So it's like to me because I often have this conversation about when I talk to somebody who loves sports, right? I might say Kobe Bryant's my favorite player. However, I may run across somebody who's going to tell me statistically why Kobe Bryant is not the best player, and they're going to go talk. They're going to quote stats. They're going to quote games, and I say that's some very geeky shit. Like you're a sports geek. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be within the realms of a traditional geek, but something that you are currently like obsessed geeking out over that you're deep diving into right now.
Climate change.
Oh shit.
Yeah, sorry to bring down the mood, everybody, but the Earth is on fucking fire, and
Mhm.
yeah, we're in a dangerous, 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 dangerous position. The amount of animal. This is another mass extinction, and we've caused it. Been a few mass extinction events, and we're in one right now. So there's been floods in Mexico, El Salvador, Alaska, Colorado, Arizona, Spain, Vietnam. Like the amount of natural disasters, it's biblical level shit. And I mean, the coral reefs that are dying, the temperature rising, there's ocean currents that are not operating currently the way they're supposed to operate. Look, it's serious. It's what's the temperature in New York right now? It is almost the end of October because I know Toronto's warm.
Hey, same.
Yeah,
Like I said, I'm from the Midwest, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's warm. It's normally not warm at this time. And I
yeah,
tell people all
yeah.
the time, I was like, I walk out and I'm like, oh man, it feels good out. And then when you think about it too long, you're like, damn, it feels good out. It should
Yeah,
not be feeling this good.
yeah, exactly. Everyone goes, "Oh, hold on, this isn't." Yeah, it takes much longer to get into the cold weather than it should, especially so. Climate change is a serious thing. So if I was writing the movie as society collapses, the economy collapses, and all of the technology is taking people's jobs, and people are in the streets fucking protesting and getting smashed down by the police, a big fucking flood comes in and makes everyone realize this is all make believe.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, I was excited. I said, man, bring the aliens, man. We need a bigger threat. Like I said, we need something that shows us like we got to get together.
this is my shit. So the aliens come, right?
Yeah,
And they're getting a little tour of Earth, and they're like, "Yo, what are those?" I go, "Oh, those are nuclear missiles." They're, oh, y'all ain't playing. You was gonna shoot those at us? Oh, y'all was gonna come with it. Look at you got a gazillion of these fucking things. Whoa, I didn't know y'all was ready like that. You're like, well, they weren't for you.
right.
They was what?
We was against each other.
I'm be the alien. You be the human. Oh, you wasn't playing. You was gonna blow us the fuck up. That's a lot of fucking firepower.
It's like, nah, it was actually for another human, not actually you.
What do you mean?
We at war. Sometimes we go. Sometimes we don't like each other, and sometimes we gotta.
Wait, you aim those at your own planet?
That does sound dumb as a bitch.
All of them? All of them?
All of them, and we don't control all of them. I got my set, they got their set, and we might throw it at each other.
Okay. Well, let's just drop that. Hey, that lake by that big city. Let's go swim in that water, man. We should go swimming in that. What?
Might be radioactive, man.
We can't swim in the water.
Can't swim in that water, bro.
Why not?
It's polluted.
What do you mean?
We didn't do right by our water system.
Okay. All right. Hey, see, those animals over there. There's not a few of them in the jungle. There just seems to be a few, but we should go look at those animals. Where's the rest of them?
Aliens gonna have a lot of questions. This is what you're saying. They're gonna be so confused. What are those? Just off of that, they're gonna be like, you know what?
We got. I've been trying to figure out. We've been looking at your cities from above, and we haven't quite figured what's up with that area where all the people live outside in tents. Because you have all these buildings, but they're like, is that a kind of like city camping that you do? And why are they all so dirty?
They're gonna have a lot of questions.
Yeah, we was looking at your food. I mean, it could go on and on.
So it's funny is because you have creatives out here who have that type of process. Like I would like to think that would be something like if the creators of the Boondocks got a hold of that type of premise. That would be, or the create like Seth MacFarlane with like how he does like American Dad and Family. I feel like in animation is where we have those tongue in cheek, but those moments where it's like holding the mirror to us. Like, do y'all see what's going on here?
It's so embarrassing, bro. How embarrassed would you be to explain humanity to an alien?
All right, so we got two more topics, and there's some fun topics, and we'll get you out of here. So again, you talked about, like I said, your issues with the Snyderverse. You said you saw that coming from 300. You know what I'm saying? When he changed some stories in the book. You talked about how you will fix Star Wars, and just the whole plot point of just like Star Wars need to get back to, the things that the fans love. I want to know, like, is there any property that you would love to get your hands on? Like that you would love to be a part of?
I'm going to tell you how we fix Transformers. You ready for Transformers?
Shit. Let's go.
Take Transformers back to the original cartoon.
Okay.
The original cartoon.
Yes.
Okay? Remember, in the original cartoon, they crash with the dinosaurs.
Yes, they did. Yep.
Okay. So, Cybertron, Autobots, Decepticons got to leave. Same storyline, exact same storyline. They're going, battle in space with their two spaceships. But this time, we do a little change. Some super weapon they have on one of the ships, they turn it on, and the other super weapon, it does something they don't expect, and a big kind of wormhole-y thing opens, and they go through it. Because it's kind of like you're just flying and crash by Earth, and like where's Cybertron to take a left turn? You know what I'm saying? So there's like a wormhole. They go through the wormhole and they crash on Earth with the dinosaurs. And just exactly like the cartoon, the 80s come for some reason, the technology of the 80s turns them on, and we have all the stuff. But what we find out as they're going through and they build the space bridge and all this shit, and what we realize is that Cybertron, the coordinates of Cybertron are the exact same coordinates of Earth.
Okay, I think I see where you're going here.
That wormhole wasn't a distance wormhole. It was a time wormhole.
So Cybertron is just an evolution.
At one point, we killed ourselves, and our robots forgot we ever were here.
It's the aliens. The aliens came. They was like, "All right, we just gonna let y'all do it."
No, we do it to ourselves. You turn Transformers into a cautionary tale. We did it. We do it. We fucked the planet up bad enough that nothing survives. All life is gone, and the only things that survive us are the robots, and they AI and evolve and evolve and evolve, and eventually forget we were ever here.
Nah, I would act that actually, because that's always been the complaint about the Transformers movies, is that it's just action, explosion, flashy. There was no real depth to the story.
Real nerd shit has depth. Real nerd shit makes you go, oh, Transformers becomes a whole new thing now.
Yeah.
Because now you got to say, now the Autobots have to say, okay, if we save humanity, we kill ourselves. We have to sacrifice it, right? And then
to try to reset and get things back on track,
right? And then if you really want to fucking fuck you up, it's the Terminator paradox. Wait, so if the Autobots save humanity as a whole, then wait, huh? How?
No, yeah, it'll give it some depth. It'll definitely do. So, in another world, and even in general, like I said, a place that has the storyline, but they can't seem to get their actual film right is anime. What do you like? Why do you think that anime can't get it right, like that big budget MCU, DC?
Because what do you really need anime to do that it didn't do for you better in the animated form?
Really don't.
Right, like, because it starts getting silly. Like Samurai X, right? The cartoon versus the live action. Yeah. Just doesn't. I don't know. We just haven't seen it translate. I think anime serves its best purpose as influence of live action. Like look at The Matrix and Ghost in the Shell. Then when they tried to make Ghost in the Shell the live action, or the scarier part is to make it smarter. To do Ghost in the Shell, they tried to do the movie Ghost in the Shell tries to dumb down Ghost in the Shell. The Ghost in the Shell is contemplating what life is itself. If we get to the point that we can program the mind to a point that you might not ever have existed, but you think you did, and then what does procreation mean to an artificial intelligence? It's not a copy. A copy isn't a new life form. It's the merger of two lives to make a one. These are the questions. Remember, in Ghost in the Shell, the AI is born in the internet. So it becomes conscious as a form, to essentially almost formless. There's no central computer that existed. It found consciousness or became conscious in the internet itself, then downloads itself into a body and says, now that I'm in a body, I want political asylum. That's the cartoon.
Yeah.
In 98, if you're not coming at that level, like Akira's not an easy movie to understand. Maybe that's why Akira doesn't quite land the same way people want it to, because you need to be a real nerd, like teenage level nerd, to get what the fuck they're talking about. But movies don't work like that. Executives don't, I don't get it, let's go with it. No, like, and then sometimes when you don't get it and you go with it, sometimes it's like the Matrix 2 and 3. It's like you went too far.
Oh yeah. Because I think it's more so just hope for us anime lovers, because there was a point in time where we had these stories in comic books where like, yo, these are in-depth stories, and then the MCU came through and took it serious. Like, you know, as much as we love like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man and the, you know, the Tim Burton's Batman and everything like that, once we got into a level where, oh shit, this is like the real serious themes and, you know, film thematics and everything like that, it was like, oh man, I wonder if anime can get it. I think that's where the hope for it, where it's like, I get what you're saying. Like in the anime, they go in depth with a lot of things, and it's like, yo, we don't want it to do it better. We just kind of want to see it translated on film. But again,
we don't need
like
you to fix it for us.
Yeah,
we don't need you to fix it, and that's always the problem. And that's what's happened. I feel with a couple different properties, they're now fixing it for us.
Yeah.
Don't worry, everybody. We'll make this. That's cute. You like comics. I made an Oscar-winning film, and you know, look, Andor made it work.
Mm-hmm.
But Andor, like it's tough that finding that balance where you're respecting it. Like Andor respected it.
Yeah.
Where a lot of times people think they're better than the material, right? And it ends up kind of collapsing on them. But finding that real level of respect for the material, the source material, is important. You know, like I would love to see the Matrix movie. I want to see is when someone takes the blue pill.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
What if taking the blue pill isn't as simple like, oh, then that's just whatever? What if taking the blue pill does do a little something to you?
Yeah, because we always assume the blue pill is just are you taking
nothing?
Nothing.
What if it's a little something? I mean, you got this far. What you know what I'm saying? What if you took the blue pill and it becomes more of a mission about, like, you just take manifesting and start dealing and, you know, really focusing on things? What if taking the blue pill does something to you?
Yeah.
That could be an interesting. That could be an interesting story to tell.
I never thought about that. I never really thought about that. So that's no that. All right, well, let's get into some fun topics, and we get you out of here. First thing first, I got to do it. I know people have already done it to you before, but I definitely got to do it. I need your top 5 Director X videos.
Oh, top 5. Oh, gee, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'll say, "Give Me the Light." Usher, You Got It Bad. Hotline Bling. Donald Jones, Where I Want to Be. Jadakiss, because you said it. Oh, Redman, I'll Be There.
Okay, all right. So in your geek realm, so again, obviously you're a big Star Wars nerd, Star Wars geek. Top 5 Star Wars properties. So that's including shows, cartoons, movies. Your top 5. It doesn't have to be in order.
The original trilogy. There's only 3. There's only 3 Star Wars movies.
Okay. There's
only 3. Okay. A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Rogue One gets 0.5. It's half a Star Wars movie, just because it's not, but it's close enough. I mean, even you know what I'm saying? But to me, those are the prequels. Well, okay, so if we're saying top 5 properties, I'll put it like this: I took my son; he was like 5 years old to see Rogue One, and I remember like he loved Lego Star Wars when he was a little boy. He loved Lego Star Wars, and when the trailer for Rogue One came around, my brother-in-law is another nerd, and we're watching it. Well, Jomo, you know, tell my son, come on over here, boy, look at this. Right, and he looked at it for like 2 seconds, and he left. It didn't interest him. He's young. He liked Lego Star Wars.
Right.
But then, by the time it was coming out, Rogue One was coming out. He looked at the trailer again. He was engaged. Right. So I'll go, okay, and I sat him down. I showed him Star Wars. Right. Showed him Star Wars. Watched the whole thing all the way in. Went to go see Rogue One. Edge of his seat. Watches the whole thing all the way in. As we're leaving, I say, hey, what was your favorite part of Rogue One? He goes, when the Millennium Falcon blew up the Death Star. So your favorite part of Rogue One was Star Wars? He goes, yup. I go, fair.
Okay.
So I give Rogue One a 0.5 as being like a true Star Wars movie. But properties, of course, the original trilogy, I'm put Rogue One in there. I got too many issues with the prequels. The Disney Star Wars can't even discuss. So we got 4 there. What would be my 5th Star Wars property that I would say, yo? Oh, season 1 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Season 1 of The Mandalorian was, man, that was
Star Wars. That was Star Wars.
That made me dive deeper into the Star Wars IP because my brother He's more of the Star Wars geek on our podcast and everything. And I was a casual. After watching Mandalorian, I said I'm watching everything. I went back.
In fact, since I gave Rogue One a 0.5, I'm gonna add Andor and Rogue One as one whole thing. So
yes, okay.
Andor, the original trilogy, and season 1 of the Mandalorian. Those are all. That's real Star Wars.
Okay. All right. So the last segment that we have is called Geekset Hypotheticals. Now this is on some nerd shit. Zombie apocalypse, robot apocalypse, alien apocalypse. Which one do you believe that you would be able to survive the longest?
The robot apocalypse. Okay. Let me break it down how it goes down. So we have the war with the machines. They beat us, right? The machines begin to, the beginning of the Cybertron nation of Earth begins. And so the robots, you thought we didn't care. We don't care about the environment. The robots don't give a fuck. They're doing all kinds of wild shit. And then somehow in the mix up, they unlock the zombie apocalypse.
So you merging. Okay.
So the zombie apocalypse is happening with the robots and the last few humans. But then when the aliens show up, the robots and the humans have to join forces against the aliens and the zombies all at once. Because I guess maybe we'll make like zombie blood is like toxic to machines or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like corrosive. So even the machines the zombies are a problem for the machines. You know what I mean? But so we get back, the robots and the machines remember that we're related. We're their parents, you know?
So we ally. We got to ally with them.
We got to ally with
Alien
the
versus Predator when
Alien versus
allied with the Predator.
Definitely.
All right, man. So, man, what do you got coming up that you need our support on? That you need people to support you with?
I mean, nothing that I need the support with. Beyond, I know what would be great. Everyone should go check out the documentary that I made with my production I have a community organization called Operation Prefrontal Cortex.
Yes.
And we made a documentary called Quiet Minds, Silent Streets. It is about a community in Toronto. So basically, Operation Prefrontal Cortex is an organization educating people about the meditation, how it can reduce violence and help heal trauma from violence. The parts of the brain that deal with emotion and decision making, right? If you grew up if you were neglected growing up, if you're abused growing up, if you are right now stressed, all these things, they make the part of your brain that deals with emotion, the amygdala, big emotions. And they make the part of your brain that deal with decision making smaller, right? Your prefrontal cortex. And when that's big and this is small, I'm doing back here, but it's really like in here. Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's when your amygdala is big and your prefrontal cortex is small. Your emotions are big and they can turn off your prefrontal cortex. Your emotions can turn off your decision making, which is if you've ever blacked out, or if you've heard someone say, "I blacked out," right? It's like something happens, and then there's a moment of their memory drops, and then that's the switch turning off, and then they're just doing something, right? So meditation can reverse that. Meditation can shrink your amygdala and give volume to your prefrontal cortex. So your gut, your emotions are your gut, right? And your prefrontal cortex are your muscles. And if you start going to the gym and your muscles get bigger and your gut gets smaller, when you go to the brain gym, your gut gets smaller and your muscle gets bigger.
Okay. Yeah.
And this will help you control that snap. If you snap here, it'll begin to pull back. After you meditate for a while, you'll have a moment like, not long ago I would have. You know,
right. Yeah.
There was a time when I would have had a little something to say about that, and now I don't. Right? Meditation will do that to you. And the more you meditate, the better for you. And the same thing happens with trauma, right? The trauma from these experiences. Meditation helps with that as well. So like Toronto had, like a lot of cities, had a really nasty wave of gun violence a few years ago. It still happens, but we've had, every city's kind of had their moment.
Right.
And there's a community out there in Toronto called Malton, right? And Malton is like this small little city that when you're in Toronto, you're never going to meet anyone from Malton. I don't know if they don't say they're from Malton, but for whatever reason, the Malton people are just, I don't know what I'm saying, but Malton is one of them kind of little pockets. And they had a really bad wave of gun violence. And there was a kid who got killed, Jonathan Davies. You know, there's some kids in a parking lot and some other kid pulled up, 140 rounds fired. And Jonathan Woods had nothing to do with it. He's just waiting to get picked up. He gets hit by a straight bullet, gets killed, and it rocks the community. You know, just, you know, when you're in school, just someone, you know, someone would die for some reason. It just rocks the whole school. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And this teacher is looking at her class really affected by this death. And she says, let's try meditation. And one of the ways that she gets the class to try it is by showing them a TED Talk I did called Message to the Man Who Shot Me. And which is about what I'm talking about here.
Right.
So they start meditating, and then we start getting letters like, hey, we're meditating because of, you know, blah, blah, blah. And we're at the time, the operation was talking to Headspace, the meditation app, about doing something together. And we shot a documentary about these kids. And so it's a really great way to see that. So one, supporting me would be watching it. And then two, supporting all of us would be showing someone, anyone in your life, like, hey, take a look. It's like 15 minutes is real easy, especially if you're a teacher, especially if you work with young people. This would be a great documentary to show of any class. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you might think young black kids in the hood. All right, okay, cool. But, you know, even if some kids, suburban kids, because executives it's this, the power of meditation coming out of such an extreme space is powerful. So one, watch it. To start showing it to people, share it.
Yeah, I'll make sure to link it in there, and I'll probably embed it in this video, you know what I'm saying, to make sure people can see it, like the trailer portion of it, so that way people can get to it. But man, I want to say, man, again, man, thank you so much, you know, for this interview. Again, as somebody who loves hip hop and somebody who loves people who can geek out about certain things that they're passionate about, this conversation was really, really dope. And I want to say, from Geekset, from the culture, from Blurred culture, from hip-hop culture, again, man, thank you for everything that you have given us. Thank you for this conversation. We will continue to support you with everything that you got coming up, and we'll definitely make sure we spread that word about that documentary for you. Okay, bro?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, bro.
No problem. And as always, this is the only podcast that blend hip-hop culture and geek culture together. I've been your boy Deuces. This has been the amazing Director X, and we are out. Peace. I mean, what the fuck we talking about here? Fridays, we are talking a brand new show, bringing you hilarious commentary about black characters.
Like Goofy and the whole gang, we all know that black. They been nigga. You know what I'm saying? P Black. He Uncle Ruckus. He Uncle Ruckus as a yeah, P Black is a
cartoon intro.
Darkwing Duck. Nobody gonna join in. I hate all y'all niggas. You gotta have real niggas around us.
Anime drip.
Throw me in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What I'm talking about? I want to be able to have my pose. Just I want to throw it in there.
Game nights.
I feel like Twister is gonna get people in some positions that they don't need to be on. That's an HR nightmare. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Video games.
It would have to be a 2K. Hey, sometimes 2K be cheating, man.
And more. Brought to you by Geekset, featuring Deuces, Bacardi, Didge,
and
Trippy, and King. Tune in Fridays only on YouTube. I mean, what the fuck we talking about here?